Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Cross and I am here with Dr. Taniesha Burke for Parenting the Fascinating Way, episode 5. And I just want to say, I'm so excited to be doing this with you. You're getting a lot of really great feedback on the information that you're putting out. I'm learning a lot too, and I really appreciate it. And the topic for episode 5 is how to manage children's whining and complaining, which will piggyback great with next topic next week, which will be on managing your children's time, because most of us now, the people of the world will be seeing this video, but most of us have children right now who are on a summer break, right?
Yes, exactly.
So why
If
don't you
you're in the
tell us,
northern hemisphere, your
yeah,
child is definitely
Northern,
on summer break. Yeah.
tell us a little bit how to manage whining and complaining.
So first of all, I'm happy that our viewers are finding the videos informative,
Mm-hmm.
and we will continue to encourage our viewers to send questions to us if you have a
Yes.
particular question that you want answered. So the topic for today is actually from a parent who saw one of our videos,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a son who's about 5 years old, and he whines a lot. So that's why we're discussing it today, because it's of an interest to some of our viewers. So why do children whine? What we as parents need to understand is that children whining is due to undue attention. They're not getting attention in a particular way. And what we need to understand is that our children are social beings. So no matter what kind of attention, so if you shout at them, you punish them and so on,
Mm-hmm.
they will seek to have some form of connectivity with you, even if it is negative connectivity. So when you see them whining, they're actually reaching out to you to say, I want to connect. Something is going on that I want to share with you. There's a disconnect that I want to rebuild with you. So if you're in the moment of your children whining, there are several things that you can do, and it's all based on the situation. So for example, when your child is whining, one of the things you can do is to say, I am not going to have a conversation with you when you're having that kind of whining episode. That I will only speak to you when you are in a normal voice. And you have to make that very clear to your child. If they decide to still do it, to say, next time you continue to whine, I'm going to leave the room and I will not speak to you until you calm down and speak in a normal tone. Now, children, being testers of boundaries, they will definitely try to see if they can get away with it. So what you need to do as parents is to make sure you keep your word. So if they continue to whine, then you need to leave the room. For younger children, say in early childhood, maybe 2 to 5 years old, when they start to whine, sometimes it's because of the attention that they need. You give them a quick hug and say, it seems like you need a hug right now, as a way of diffusing the whining situation. That will not necessarily work for children in middle childhood. So this other strategy is related to our episode 3 discussion on family meetings. So children who are constantly whining, if they're whining about a particular situation in the family, this is where you say, okay, I understand that you're whining and complaining about this issue. Next time, we will put it on the agenda for our family meeting. And then during the family meeting, you will discuss as a family how you can resolve this particular issue that the child is expressing when they're whining. The other strategy that you can also use is that to ignore them. Sometimes a simple thing as
Really?
ignoring, because remember, whatever we focus on expands, right? So
True.
if we're constantly focusing our power on or energy on children's misbehavior, such as whining, they will continue to do that because they see that as the most effective way to communicate with us. So that's what you can do when you're in the whole situation of whining. But I think it's important to look at the antecedents. So what would lead up to a whining situation? So if you know the antecedents, then you can prevent the whining in general. One of the core things we need to realize, that especially for children in early childhood, is that they do not have the necessary communication skills. So you will see whining a lot in children between 2 to 5 or 6 years old because they don't know how to communicate. So it is then your opportunity as a parent to teach your child, whenever you have a concern, whenever you have an issue or a complaint, this is how you need to communicate to us what is going on with you. Whining is not the appropriate thing. We also need to understand that children whine when they feel neglected or unloved. So it may be that you're too busy, you're scheduling everything and excluding them, and so they don't feel like they have that connection with you. What you need to do, especially if you have multiple children, is that you need to then have special moments with each child. So say, for example, on a Tuesday evening, you're going to take your daughter to maybe get her hair done, and you only go with your daughter. You would not take your other children. So you're communicating with the child that this is my special moment. So they're having that connectivity with you, and they do not feel neglected. Also, we need to realize that children whine when they feel discouraged. So a misbehaving child is a discouraged child, and a cooperative child is an encouraged child who has actually learned the social skills of being respectable to others. So you need to find out why your child is being discouraged, but you also need to create a situation where you encourage your child a lot. So when they do something that is appropriate or right, you say, you know, I appreciate that. You push under the chair whenever you leave the table, or you say, excuse me, I'm really appreciative of that. You're so well-mannered. So you're encouraging them in certain areas, and when they feel encouraged, then the discouragement that they feel would normally be reduced. So when you do those kind of things, when you have those before, you reduce the chances of your children having whining episodes. But the important thing to realize, especially for young children, is that parents, they have limited life experiences and they do not have the communication skills. So instead of going and being harsh with them with the whining, you need to teach them the necessary communication skills on how to communicate whatever it is that they may be disgruntled about.
I love it. These are great. So
Yes.
Don't converse with them. Encourage them to calm down and talk and have a conversation, which is another way of really training them how to communicate. Yes. Keep your word. If you say you're going to leave the room, then you're leaving, which is hard. That's that consistency thing. And then I loved that you said, you know, for a younger child, just a quick hug and some affection really helps a lot too.
Right.
Sort of an acknowledgement of their pain, you know. And really surprised me to say ignore at times. That might be appropriate too. But yes. I love what I used to do with I had 3 kids, so I would do mommy daughter day or mommy son day. And then now they're 21 and 24 and 27. I can't keep track, but we still do that.
Right. Because now what you were doing is building that connectivity.
Yeah.
That sense of belongingness. When children feel belonged, then they don't need to necessarily whine about a particular thing. And also, again, tying into episode 3,
yes.
family meetings. It is so important to have family meetings because a lot of these issues can be resolved when we come as a family to say, this child is whining about this particular issue. How can we as a family come up with a solution to help this child so that they do not whine anymore about this particular problem?
I have to say, actually, when you said that, you're talking to your 3-year-old and she's complaining, I pictured something like very corporate looking, like, well, bring that up at the next grievance meeting, my dear. The clipboard is hanging on the refrigerator, and have them go over and like write it down somewhere, or I don't know, like not that she could write at 3, but together you could, like, in that moment, I'm being silly, but honestly, like, okay, let's talk about that at the next meeting and let's write it down in our notebook, or our family binder or whatever. I love that idea. That's great, because right in the moment she's feeling like she's being heard.
Yes, and she's feeling that they are actually part of the family, even though they may be the youngest members of the family. They know that the family respects that I have issues, I have goals, I have concerns, I have perceptions of how I view the world and view everybody in the family, and those are being honored. So that's a very good thing.
I love it. Thank you so much. This is, again, just so fun to see you and to do these videos with you. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Please like, comment, and share. We are always looking for ideas. You can find Dr. Burke at TanieshaBurke.com, and I will for sure add a link to your website. You can work with her. She's offering Fascinating Womanhood classes. She offers parenting coaching. So please check out her website. Thanks so much and join us next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.